Okay, good evening, folks, and welcome to part two of our 2021 Virtual Awards Gala. I'm Paul Osland, the CEO of Athletics Ontario, and I'm happy to be with you tonight. Our first night was filled with the well-deserved recognition of our 2021 All-Ontario athletes, a group of over 200 athletes who, under the grip of the pandemic, posted amazing performances in all disciplines and age groups. Also recognized in a special ceremony were 4 inductees into the AO Hall of Fame. That was Ken Hall, Roman Osowski, Louise Walker, and Victor Picard. Norm Crean was also inducted into the Masters Hall of Fame. And our official of the year was Brian Keaveney. We also had an update on the AO 2021 initiatives that supported our membership in navigating the pandemic, including member club grants, grassroots initiatives, and incredible learning opportunities for athletes, coaches, officials, and race directors. And although the effects of the pandemic were felt by AO and its member clubs, we were thrilled that our membership grew by approximately 2,000 or over 33% over the past 2 years. And my favorite moment last night was when we were privileged to have Tokyo 2020 Olympic medalist Mohammed Ahmed share his inspiring athletics journey and the golden nuggets of motivation and advice for the young athletes who aspire to compete in athletics and life. If you weren't able to join us last night or had to jump off early or just want to relive the night, you can catch the replay along with tonight's events, which will be posted on the AO YouTube channel sometime tomorrow. Last night, we also had one lucky winner in a raffle prize for an Athletics Ontario swag bag featuring an AO branded Nike tracksuit, a Nike backpack, an AO white t-shirt, an AO branded water bottle, and a foam roller. We'll have the same raffle prize tonight, and ticket sales are open until 8 p.m. tonight. Kenneth will put the link into the chat box below, so you'll have still opportunities to see it. I'm seeing in the chat, Suzanne, you can't see the speaker, you can't see me. Anybody else having that problem? Okay, everybody else can see me. All right, I'll keep going. And now let's get going on to night 2 of our virtual awards gala. And it's going to be just as great as last night. Here to lead us through the evening once again is our incredible MC, Kate Van Buskirk. Kate, over to you.
Thanks so much, Paul. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here again this evening to act as your MC for the second night of our 2021 Athletics Ontario Virtual Awards Gala. As you heard, we had an incredible night 1 last evening, and I'm sure that night 2 is going to be just as thrilling. I've been asked, as Paul did, to share my favorite moment from last night, but I'm going to take the easy road out and say that I honestly and thoroughly enjoyed all of it. As we all know, Zoom can be a tough platform to interact on and to feel connected on, but it was really, I think we packed a lot in. It was really exciting. I encourage everyone who wasn't able to attend to go check out the video. As Paul said, Kenneth has put that link in the chat function. But if I did have to choose sort of a favorite overall aspect, I'd say that it's especially neat that at these galas, we have an opportunity for athletes of all ages to learn about one another. And that's something I've felt since I was a young athlete attending these galas myself. So I encourage the younger athletes in attendance tonight and last night to take a moment and again, rewatch that video from last night and maybe just try to appreciate the opportunity to get to know the builders, the coaches, the volunteers, the masters athletes, all of those who were once in your shoes and who are really continuing to keep our sport thriving alongside all of you. So just like we did last evening, we want to make this event as interactive as possible, even though we're on our screens. So please use that chat function and the Q&A function. If you do have questions for any of our speakers or recognized guests, you can drop those into the Q&A function and we'll answer them throughout the event. But right now, just to kick things off, as we did last evening, please use that chat function to let us know who you are, your name, where you're joining us from, maybe how many of you are joining together, and if you want to share some of your favorite moments from last night. That's really great feedback for us, and it's also a really wonderful way for us all to continue interacting through this evening. So we're going to kick off our program tonight with a really special video that highlights the Olympic and Paralympic achievements of our amazing Athletics Ontario athletes. So without further ado, let's get pumped. Here's the video.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Mama, please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. Let's get down to business. Back and forth with the bullshit. I know I said it before, I don't mean it. It's been a while since I had your attention. So it might hurt to hit it. We can't leave them if you stay the same. And I can't do this for another day. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. Let's get down to business.
It's so funny, even though I was there, it still blows me away how much representation we have in Ontario for our Olympics and our Paralympics. It's incredible to see it back to back like that. Super inspiring. Thanks for that, Paul. I hadn't seen that video yet either, so that was wonderful to see. And I should note that there are actually a number of folks who are in that video on our call today. So Olympians and Paralympians, if you could give a shout out in the chat function and let us know who's joining us so that everyone can say hi and congratulate you, that would be great. So we're going to get more into some of the excitement from those games this summer. But first, we're going to move on to our individual awards recognitions, starting with our age group athletes. So we're going to be announcing the award winners for male and female in the U14, U16, U18, and U20 categories, starting with our U14s. Our female U14 award winner is Jenna Tunks. Jenna is a thrower from London Western. She finished first at the Athletics Ontario Rising Stars Championships in Hamilton. She set the U13 indoor provincial shot put record with a distance of 10.82 meters, as well as the U13 outdoor provincial discus record with a throw of 36.79 meters. Congratulations to Jenna Tunks. Our male U14 athlete of the year is Jaleel Haley. Jaleel is a sprinter for the Flying Angels Track Club and was a gold medalist in the 150 meters and 300 meters with scores of 19.32 seconds and 40.1 seconds, 16 seconds respectively at the Athletics Ontario U14 Central Rising Stars Championships. Congratulations to Jaleel. Moving on to our U16 category. Our female U16 award winner is Trinity Shad Series. Trinity is a sprinter from Maximus Performance. She finished first in the 100 meters in 11.96 seconds and the 200 meters in 24.29 seconds at the U20 Championships. She also set the U17 and U16 provincial record in long jump with a distance of 6.05 meters. Congratulations to Trinity. Sharing the female U16 award is Julia Tunks. Julia is a thrower from London Western who finished first at the Ontario U18 Champs in shot put with a throw of 14.88 meters. She also finished first at the Ontario U18 Champs in discus with a throw of 53.94 meters, which was both a national and a provincial record. Congratulations to Julia Tunks. Our male U16 Athlete of the Year is Carson Gauthier. Carson won the combined events, is a combined event specialist from Thorold Elite. And at the Ontario U16 Championships, he took home gold in the javelin, discus, and high jump, silver in the 100 hurdles, and bronze in the shot put. And then at the Ontario U18 Championships, Carson brought home the gold in the high jump and silver in the javelin. Congratulations to all of our U16 award winners. Moving on to our U18 category, our female U18 award winner is Emily Martin. Emily is from South Simcoe Track and Field Club, and she was first in the 400 meters at the Ontario U18 Championships and U20 Championships this year. Congratulations to Emily Martin. We have two male U18 winners. They are Ryder King. Ryder is a sprint and hurdles specialist from the Monte Cristo Track Club. At the Ontario U20 Championships, he was first in the 400 meter hurdles and second in the 110 meter hurdles, as well as first in the 110 meter hurdles, first in the 400 meter hurdles, and third in the 400 at the Ontario U18 Championships. Congratulations to Ryder. And sharing the male U18 category win is Stephen Davis. He is a decathlete from London Western and was first in the Fall Field Fest in the decathlon, as well as first in the decathlon at the Ontario U18 Championships, where he finished first in 9 out of the 10 events. That's quite a performance. Congratulations to all of our U18 award winners. And our final age group subset is our U20 award winners. Heather Abadi is our female award winner. She is an athlete from the Saugeen Track and Field Club who was first in the pole vault at the AAU Junior Olympics in Houston, Texas, and claimed bronze in the women's pole vault at the U20 World Athletics Championships in Nairobi. Huge congratulations, Heather. And on our male U20 side, we have Abdullahi Hassan, who's a distance runner from Phoenix Athletics. He finished 7th at the U20 Worlds in the 800 meters and first at the 800 meters at the Sound Running Sunset Fest in California this summer. Congratulations to our U20 award winners and to all of our different age group award winners this year. And we just want to mention here that we also usually recognize our Masters Athletes of the Year, but given the extraordinary challenges of COVID and the extremely limited number of competitive opportunities, this year the Masters Council decided not to name a Masters Athlete of the Year. However, we do just want to take a moment to mention that we had some remarkable Masters performances in 2021, and we really look forward to continuing to celebrate all of our AO Masters and age group athletes throughout 2022. At this point, we just have to throw a note in here to remind everyone that we have our raffle open. It is open for about another 40 minutes. Again, you can win a swag bag with AO branded Nike tracksuit, a Nike backpack, an AO t-shirt, an AO branded water bottle, and a foam roller. So make sure that you buy your tickets so you can get entered into that draw. We're going to move on now to the Community Service Award. It's a very special award. And this year, it's going to Stephen Fife. Stephen was nominated by Ian Morton of the Stratford Sabercats, and we just want to read what Ian had to say in his nomination of Stephen. I'm nominating Stephen Fife because he made this a great season for our club. Stephen is the head coach of the Thorold Elite Track Club. He's hosted numerous events, including the West U14 Championships. Stephen went out of his way to make sure that as many clubs and as many athletes as possible had a chance to compete in a positive and encouraging environment. Stephen ensured that all athletes had a chance and supported his own athletes as well as athletes from other clubs. He specifically cheered on our club's athletes in races and congratulated many of their accomplishments regardless of their club. He truly cares about the track and field community in Ontario and has thoroughly demonstrated this to our club, the Stratford Sabercats. It is our hope that he is recognized for the great work he's done to promote the sport of track and field, fair play, and positive competitive experiences for all our track and field athletes and clubs in Ontario. So in the chat group, please help me in congratulating Stephen Fife for his Community Service Award. And I should have mentioned there, of course, it's difficult for us to congratulate each other because we're all on the Zoom call and it's hard to interact, but please do keep dropping all of those congratulatory messages into our chat function. All of our athletes who are present will see those and I know they'll really appreciate it. And again, as always, feel free to share any of this on social media to keep our Athletics Ontario name strong and to make sure that all can continue to celebrate online.
Kate, Stephen is here to say a few words.
My apologies. Stephen, we'd love to hear from you. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for those kind words. It was really great hearing that from Ian. I didn't know who had actually nominated me. So Ian, thank you very, very much for that. And thank you to Athletics Ontario for selecting me as well. Those of you in the community that do know me, you probably know that I generally don't say very much and I'm not one for the attention. So I won't say very much here, but just we were really, really fortunate that we were able to host all of those meets for everybody. I know lots of people in the province would have liked to as well, but just due to restrictions and things, they weren't able to. So we were happy to do it and have so many people from all across the province come down to our meets and get those opportunities that you'd been looking for so badly, especially early in June when so many things had been canceled. So I know we received a lot of gratitude from you guys when you were there. You were thanking us for holding the meets and for what we did. And we're equally as grateful to all of you for coming down and participating and just, again, doing a great job and doing what you guys do as well. So thank you, everybody, and good luck to you in your indoor seasons. And that's really all I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for that, Stephen. We're so glad that you could be on the call and congratulations again on your award. And this is sort of what I was getting at in my introduction, that it's really incredibly special to have so many of our builders and so many of our community leaders on the call, and probably a good reminder not only to congratulate Stephen, but athletes, you know, thank your coaches anytime you get a chance, thank the officials, the volunteers, all those who continue to keep our sport so vibrant. So congratulations again, Stephen. And that leads me well into another special recognition award, and this is a big one. This is the Governor General of Canada Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers. Oh, and that's a big title, but essentially this is the highest award for volunteerism in all of Canada. So for one of our own in the Ontario track and field community to be the recipient is truly extraordinary. So this special award goes out to Doug Shaggy Smith. I know most of you know him. You've seen him around the track. You've interacted with him. He's brought a smile to so many of our faces. And we have a video prepared to highlight some of the extraordinary contributions that Doug has made to our sport.
Athletics Ontario community with an award from Canada's Governor General, recognizing the contributions of a gentleman who has truly made a difference through his endless volunteer work in the world of athletics. Doug Smith, better known to many of us as Shaggy, is a true example of values and purpose of Athletics Ontario, including promoting physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Few have volunteered more time promoting athletics than Shaggy with his salutation of, "Hey, buddy." Doug Smith has given countless hours and priceless expertise to promote and deliver athletic-centered recreation and competitive athletic programs in Ontario through athletic communities, always incorporating his personal values alongside those of AO. Competing in steeplechase, Shaggy has continued his love affair with health and fitness through sport. Like a good wine, Shaggy has gotten better with age and is known for qualities that our world needs more of, including commitment, dedication, honesty, integrity, loyalty, patience, respect, sportsmanship, and an amazing ability to collaborate so all around him feel heard and valued. Happy to be in the background doing his thing. I have no doubt that everyone has at one time or another seen Shaggy in one of his many volunteer roles, including starter for the TDSB elementary and secondary school track and field and cross country events, variety village events, officiating results at indoor and outdoor events, involvement in Ontario Masters, Canadian Masters, World Masters, and the successful Toronto 2020 bid. And of course, being the photographer for pretty much every local, national, and international event. There truly aren't enough words to capture how extraordinary Doug is and how much he has contributed and continues to contribute to the sport of athletics. Volunteers embody the caring country that Canada is at its core and of which our country's future will be built. It is with immense pride and pleasure on behalf of Canada's Governor General, Mary Simon, that I share that Doug Smith is this year's recipient of the Sovereign Medal for Volunteers. This award recognizes Canadians from coast to coast in a wide range of fields, paying tribute to their dedication and commitment, underscoring Shaggy's commitment, dedication, and passion that make the world a better place for generations to come through athletics. Doug, Shaggy, congratulations on this well-deserved award. All of us thank you for your immense contribution to the athletics community. Your tireless efforts have set a high bar for all of us, and we all be taking the baton as we look to be like Shaggy.
Wow.
And I know, oh, sorry, I was just going to say, I know Shaggy's here to join us, so take it away, Shaggy.
It's not every day that I have the opportunity. It's not every day.
Sorry.
Hold it. First, how's the hair? The hair good? Okay. Hey, thanks very much, Dave. I think it's about 2 years ago, Dave, unbeknownst to me, made a nomination to the to Rideau Hall for the Governor General's awards. And I guess he followed that up. Somehow he found enough people to give positive recommendations for me. And anyway, about, I think it was this spring, early this spring, I got a call from the Governor General letting me know that I was on the short list for this award, which blew me away. So I want to thank David for such a wonderful job of getting this together and a nice speech. As Dave mentioned, about 30 years ago, I started with the Ontario Masters Board. Brian Keaveney was on the board at the time. And Brian has been my mentor for the past 30 years. I keep asking him questions. He's a wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate how Brian's been there. We've directed so many meets together and so many cross countries together. We're just a great team, and I'm so glad to have him around. He directed our indoor championships for about 22 years, and I'm at 14 years this year, so I've got a ways to get to catch him. In the TDSB, which is the Toronto District School Board scene, 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I retired, and my good friend John Gonos, who was the head guy in athletics at the TDSB, realized I had this wealth of knowledge about track and field. So he asked me to come out and be a starter, which I've done for the last 18 or so years. Now, the expertise involved at the TDSB level for grade 2s is when you line them up for the 100 meters, you have to twist around every 3 or 4 people who are facing the wrong way. You want them to go that way. So it's just, I'm working with just a great group of people, all the teachers and volunteers. Carla Del Grande is there all the time, just a great number of volunteers, and we have just a great time with the kids. We've missed, well, now I've missed like 2 or 3 years of kids, so we'll have to start from scratch, learning all their names and stuff. Toronto 2020 was mentioned. I spent 5 years of my life, 2 years building up for the bid, which we won against highly favored Gothenburg, Sweden. And then we had 3 years to go before the big event. We had a fantastic structure of volunteers. We had everything going for us. And then we pulled the plug last March because of the pandemic. So one thing about it, I kind of had to put my elite athletic career on hold while I was busy almost every day with meetings and stuff. And my coach, Mr. Paul Osland, warned me that I might not be able to get back to where I was after taking so much time off. And I told Paul, well, I'm always last, so I can always come back to being last. So, and it rang true this cross-country season, where I came back for the first races in a couple of years, and I, in fact, was last. At the AO meets and at the U of T meets, Randolph and I we call ourselves the A team. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but that's what we call ourselves. Randolph runs the photo and I run the high-tech program. And I love to drive Randolph nuts, because when you get a field sheet in and it's got all of the high jump marks, and you know, I'm there. If Randolph gets it and I'm in the washroom, he's doing with his right hand on the keyboard and he's looking at the thing. He never moves. Whereas I look at the sheet and I'm typing in 1.60, and it just drives him nuts, but we get along quite well. Anyway, volunteering, there's no retirement from it. Once you get in it, it's like quicksand, but just a wonderful, delicious quicksand. I'll probably be doing this the rest of my life. And the great thing about volunteering is that you can be last, like me, and still hold the stage with a bunch of Olympians, just fantastic athletes. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And thanks to all the volunteers. This is really for all of us. Like, it's just a great community. So thank you very much, and see you out there.
Thanks so much for that, Doug. Thanks for being here tonight to share your personal experiences and your words. And again, I think we recognize this differently during times of difficulty and crisis, just how much those around us matter to us and how much they keep, again, our sport and our community alive during really trying times. So thank you again for your hard work and ongoing dedication to making AO everything that it is. We're so glad to have you. So we're going to move on now to a somewhat new recognition. So in the past, we've had fan favorite recognitions for individuals, but we're going to narrow it down a little bit to a specific moment that took place over the last year, because again, we're always looking for really exciting things to draw inspiration from during a pandemic. So this is the award for the fan favorite moment of the year. And we asked our members to write in to vote on what they thought was the best. And the winner with almost 1,500 votes is Rihanna Green. Rihanna this summer at the AO U18 Championships won the 100 meter and was the only U18 female to run sub 12 this year. She was also first in the 200, and she anchored the 4x100 meter relay to a first place finish. And that's a pretty extraordinary score list. But specifically, the fan moment of the meet was watching Rihanna run the anchor on the 4x400 meter relay and bring her team from 7th place when she took the baton all the way up to a 2nd place finish. So fan favorite moment of the year goes to Rihanna Green. Congratulations to Rihanna. And I'm not sure if she's on the call, but Rihanna, if you're on the call, if you could drop your a message into the chat to let folks know that you're here, and maybe how they can follow along and congratulate you if you have social media. And if not, I'm sure she's easy to find, but congratulations again to Rihanna Green and to all of the great moments this summer and this year. Moving on now, we're going to announce our club champions. And this list can be found on our AO website along with the complete standings. I think Kenneth will drop that into the chat box. This is, of course, the scoring based on performances at the provincial championships for each category. So going through them one at a time, starting with our overall champions, the London Western Track and Field Club. Our rising stars this year were the United Tamil Sports Club. Congratulations, United Tamil Sports. Our U16 club awards go to Thorold Elite Track Club. Congratulations, Thorold. Our club champions in the U18 category, again, London Western Track and Field Club. Our U20 winners were the Ottawa Lions Track and Field Club. Congratulations, Ottawa. Our Open Award winners was the Royal City Athletics Club. In the Masters, our awards go to the Throwers Club. Our Para Award winners are the Cruiser Sports Club. And for our cross-country club champions, the Newmarket Huskies. Congratulations to all of our clubs. Again, the athletes, the coaches, the parents, the volunteers that make these events possible. Way to go. And again, you can find the complete standings on the AO website. So and I just see, let's go Ottawa, let's go Lions, let's go London Western. So align yourselves in the chat, shout out your favorite group, the club you belong to. Let's get some team pride going here. So we're moving on to another everything special. I was gonna say another special portion of the evening, but this is our awards for our athletes of the year. So we're going to be announcing our male and female athletes of the year in both the open and para categories. And we'll be starting tonight with the Female Para Field Award, which goes to Renee Fosel. Renee is an athlete at Cruiser Sports. Renee set a world record in the F38 discus with a distance of 37.83 meters. She represented Canada at the 2020 Tokyo Paralympic Games, and she finished 4th in the F38 discus. Huge congratulations to Renee Fosel, and I'm not sure if she's on the call. I know she was a maybe, but I'm not seeing her pop up here. So I think we'll move on to our male para field award recipient. Our athlete of the year in the male para field category is Anthony McMillan. Anthony is an athlete with Cruiser Sports. He got 3 golds at the AO Para Championships in the shot put, discus, and javelin events. And unfortunately, Anthony can't be here with us tonight, but he did send in a little message, which I'll read now. So from Anthony, he said, I just want to thank everyone that tuned in to tonight's awards gala, to all the people behind the scenes putting on this wonderful event. This award is a reflection of all my hard work and dedication. I've made a lot of commitments and a lot of sacrifices this past season, but if this is the end result, it was definitely worth every minute to see the light at the end of the tunnel. They say big dreams have small beginnings, which is a true testament to my journey. I'm thankful for the struggles I endured this year because without them, I would not know my true capabilities. Once again, I'm very honored and humbled to receive this award. So thank you to everyone who made this moment possible. So again, congratulations to Anthony McMillan, Male Para Field Athlete of the Year. Moving on to our Female Para Track Athlete of the Year. This shouldn't be a huge surprise, but Marissa Papaconstantinou is your award winner. She is an athlete with the University of Toronto Track Club. She set national records in both the T64 100 meter of 13.12 seconds and the T64 200 meter of 27.49 seconds. She represented Canada at the 2020 Paralympic Games, where she took home a bronze medal in the T64 100 meter category, which was just such an incredibly thrilling performance to watch. Huge congratulations to Marissa. And I know that she's on the call. So Marissa, if you'd like to just pop on to say a quick word or two, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, Kate. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be receiving Female Paratrack Athlete of the Year. It was definitely a really, really challenging season given all the uncertainties with COVID, but we stuck to a plan, we kept to it, and I'm just so thankful for AO for committing to hosting track meets throughout the summer to make that a possibility. So thank you so much.
Huge congratulations again, Marissa. Way to go. Moving on to our Male Paratrack Athlete of the Year. This year, the award goes to Zachary Gingras. Zachary represented Canada at the 2020 Paralympic Games and took home the bronze medal in the T38 400 meters. In his qualifying heat, Zach ran a personal best of 51.81 seconds to earn a spot in the final and outdid that in the final with a new best time of 50.85 seconds, full second off his personal best to win the bronze medal. Again, such a thrilling event to watch. And I believe that Zach's on the call and is prepared to say a few words. There he is. Perfect, Zach. Thanks for joining us. Paul, can we promote Zach so he can say a few words?
Can you hear me now? I think we're good.
Yep.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for the awards. It's obviously an honor to receive this after many years of competing under Athletics Ontario. Yeah, it's been a crazy past couple of years for everyone, and luckily both the Olympians and Paralympians were able to compete on the international level and show the world what we were made of. Yeah, really happy to represent my country, my province, and obviously Markham, and then bring home a medal on top of that. That was nice. But yeah, for sure, couldn't have done this without the support of Athletics Ontario and the rapidly growing para programs over the past 5 years. So thank you to them and all their support for para athletes.
Thanks so much, Zach. Congratulations again. And I just have to ask you, what are you doing with your medal? Where's your medal right now?
I'll turn my video on if it's okay. Oh, it's actually right here in my hand. Yeah, obviously Marissa also has one of these, so kind of twins like that. But no, it's yeah, definitely an honor to be one of the few medalists from the country. So
Zach, can you hold that right up to your camera so we can all see it? Do you mind?
Sorry, I will bring
Thank you.
myself.
Incredible.
And then yeah, on the bottom it has the race. I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah. Cool.
And I got I had the honor of holding one of those medals just this past weekend. Not mine, obviously, but they weigh a ton. So you're getting a workout just holding it.
Yeah, no, my neck was hurting after the bus ride back to the village. But, yeah.
Well deserved. Well, again, congratulations, Zach. Thanks so much for sharing your medal with us, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
Moving on to our Open Female Athlete of the Year. It is my honor to award this to Gabriella Debuse-Stafford. This summer's Tokyo Games were Gabriella's second Olympics. She reached the final in the 1500 meter, and her fifth place finish tied for Canada's second best result ever in this event. This year, she set world level personal bests in the 800 meter, running 158.7, and in the 3000 meter, running 838.51. Congratulations, our Open Female Athlete of the Year, Gabriella Debuse-Stafford. And I know that Gabriella is also here to share some words with us, and I can't wait to hear from her.
Hi, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. Thanks so much for this award. It's an honor. I spent a lot of time watching, former Ontario athletes at the Olympics when I was little, and it's quite something to be, competing at this level myself and, being in the running of getting an Olympic medal myself, so it's definitely a dream come true. And I just want to thank Athletics Ontario for all of the support across the entirety of my career, from high school and beyond. Especially during the pandemic, I got to see a little bit when I was in Ontario during my stopover between Glasgow and Portland, the kind of work that Athletics Ontario was doing to keep the sport alive. And I got to hear a lot from Lucia about the kind of support that Athletics Ontario was giving her in terms of giving her opportunities to run Olympic qualifying times and get like able, so that she could be able to qualify through the rankings. And without that kind of support, she might not have made it to the Olympics, and she might not have been the 13th. She might not have been able to finish 13th and be one spot shy of making the final. So it's pretty incredible that really Athletics Ontario did a lot in terms of supporting the athletes specifically this year, to have an opportunity to shine on the world stage at the highest level. And so I feel very grateful for such an incredible organization. So yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody for that. And thank you for the award. It's an honor.
Well, we feel so lucky to have you, G, and thanks again for joining us on the call tonight and for sharing those words. And again, I should mention any of our Paralympians or Olympians, if you're comfortable, if you want to drop your social media handles into the chat so that folks can follow along and reach out to you personally beyond this call, that would be great, much appreciated. But thank you for sharing that. And that brings us to our final Athlete of the Year award for this evening. This is the Open Male Athlete of the Year. And again, my great honor to introduce Damian Warner as the recipient of this award. It goes without saying, but Damian was the Tokyo Olympic gold medalist this summer in the decathlon, setting a new Olympic and Canadian record of 9,018 points, becoming only the fourth man in history to break that prestigious 9,000 point barrier. Damian was also most recently announced as the winner of the Lou Marsh Trophy, which recognizes Canada's top athlete of the year. Huge congratulations to Damian Warner. And again, we are so lucky to have him with us to say a few words.
Hi, can you guys see me? Awesome. Yeah, so thank you so much for this award. It's been a wild year for me. When I first started this year, I had pretty big goals. I wanted to go to the Olympics and perform well. And I didn't really expect all this would follow. And it seems like I'm being recognized by so many different groups, and I'm extremely grateful. And I'm extremely grateful of Athletics Ontario for selecting me with this award, because for the longest time when I was starting my career, Athletics Ontario was like one of the prime supporters of me, and I wouldn't be here where I am without them, and so many other people in my life that has supported me and helped me get to this position that I am now. So family, my coaches, the community here in London, especially the past year with everything that we had to deal with COVID and the pandemic, and being left outdoors and not necessarily having a training center. And the community came together here in London, Ontario to put something together for me and so many other athletes that train in London. And I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for the support that I've had, but I know I'm extremely grateful. And I've said it many times before that I'm going to do whatever I can in my career and the remainder that I have of it to pay it forward and to try to give back to the communities that supported me and try to help athletes that are or were in a similar situation to mine. So thanks so much for this award. Congratulations to all the other athletes that won the awards, and congratulations to everybody that was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I know that you guys who were inducted did an amazing thing for our sport and set like a standard for all of us athletes to reach. And I know me and Gabrielle and all the other athletes that won this award are going to try to do the same to kind of follow in your legacies. So thank you so much. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much for those words, Damian. Thank you for being on the call tonight. Again, we really want to thank all of our athletes who joined us to share their words of wisdom and advice. And again, follow along their journeys, interact with them as much as you can, and soak up all of their inspiration. This is a true team effort in Athletics Ontario, so we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So this brings us to the point in our evening, much like we did last night, where we had Mo Ahmed speak to our group. We have another formidable guest speaker joining us tonight, and she's on the call. She didn't say much earlier because we wanted to save the really good stuff for this portion. But it is my honor to introduce as our guest speaker for this awards gala, Marissa Papaconstantinou. Marissa's been a rising star since she was fitted for her first running blade as a preteen. She made her international debut in 2015 as a mere 16-year-old when she finished 7th in the 200 and 8th in the 100 at the IPC World Championships. She went on to compete in the 2016 Rio Paralympic Games, the 2017 and 2019 IPC World Championships, and as you heard earlier, she roared to an astounding T64 100-meter Paralympic bronze medal this summer in Tokyo. It is my great pleasure and honor to welcome my friend Marissa Papaconstantinou to share some words with us tonight.
Hi, Kate. Thanks again for introducing me. Like I was saying before, it was definitely quite the roller coaster. Not only of a season, but the last few years, really. I encountered quite a few challenges going into, I guess, my more professional part of my career. You know, I got disqualified in my Paralympic debut race in 2016. I tore my hamstring in 2017 in the finals of my 200 at World Championships, tore my other hamstring not more than 2 years later. And so it's definitely been challenging, and there's been a lot of things to kind of overcome. But I think that a lot of those challenges have helped me gain a lot of perspective, and it's helped me also, you know, just become a stronger person and athlete because of it. And, you know, I'm so fortunate to have such a great team of people around me. My coach, Bob Westman, who's been able to help guide me through a lot of those challenges. My parents, my sister, Kristen. It's been a lot, but again, like just having that support system, and again, having Athletics Ontario, Athletics Canada behind myself and other athletes has been a huge part of being able to climb that ladder and to really reach the podium in Tokyo.
That's so great, Marissa. And I should have just mentioned that as we did last night with Mo, please, those on the call, drop your questions for Marissa into that Q&A function, because we'll address as many of those as we can as we chat tonight. But Marissa, you said so much in just that short introduction there, and I want to get to a lot of it. But you know, one of the things that I think a lot of our younger athletes really appreciated hearing from Mo yesterday was how he got started in the sport. And you experienced so much success at such a young age. Maybe you can give us an overview of what got you into track and field in the first place and what made you fall in love with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, track and field was always something I was very infatuated by as a young child. Like, I was just always so interested in how someone can move their body so quickly. And I actually didn't really love running until I got my first running blade when I was 12 years old, because running was actually something that was very difficult for me. I was on my everyday prosthetic and it was a challenge. But when I got my first running blade, it, as cheesy as it sounds, felt like I had 2 feet for the first time. And from that moment, track was the first sport where I really truly felt at home and it felt right. I did a lot of other sports growing up. I played soccer, I played basketball, and don't get me wrong, like I loved playing those sports. I always felt very capable doing them, but there was something always missing from them. And track was that one thing that kind of filled that missing piece for me. And so once I got my first running blade, I did track because I loved it and I had fun, and of course I still love it and I have fun, but I didn't really know what type of pathways were available to me. And then when I started getting more involved with parasport, I set the Canadian record when I was 13 years old. And I think from that point, I realized that there was a lot of opportunity, and where I had the opportunity to compete at the Paralympics. So that's where I made it my goal to compete at Rio. And I guess the rest is history from there.
Well, that's awesome, Marissa. And you say the rest is history. And obviously your love for the sport hasn't wavered. But you mentioned this in your introduction of yourself, but you've overcome a huge number of obstacles to get to where you are today. So to fill in some of that stuff in between, you know, setting a record at such a young age and making your debut at such a young and finally winning a medal this year. You mentioned you were disqualified in your very first Paralympics and then went on to have some pretty severe injury issues not long after that. Maybe you could speak a little more to those specific experiences and then what it took and how you tapped into the inner parts of yourself to overcome those obstacles.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely, it felt like disappointment after disappointment for a few years, and it was hard to kind of find that joy and that love for the sport when it just constantly felt like it was disappointing me. But something that kept me going every single day was, one, gaining perspective, and two, reminding myself of why I do this sport. And there's a few reasons why I do this sport. I do it because, one, I really enjoy it. For two, I love having that element of competition in my life. I love the value of bettering myself as a person and an athlete every single day. And then the other part of it is, I didn't have very many role models that looked like myself growing up. I was very lucky that I had one person. Her name's Stephanie Reed. She used to compete for Canada. She now competes for Great Britain. She has the same disability as myself. I was very lucky to have someone like her to envision myself in a specific pathway. And so a lot of my why and a lot of what keeps me going every single day is that there is hopefully someone out there that maybe doesn't see themselves in successful positions, and I can maybe be that person to hopefully inspire them, or to inspire them to keep going, or whether it's to even get involved in track or just do something that they love and they're passionate about. So those are definitely some things that I gained, and again, perspective along the way. And ultimately, I think it's just taught me a lot of really valuable life lessons that are not only good for track, but are good for just everything that we have to encounter in life. I mean, I think the one big thing that I learned was just being very present and living in the moment. When I was dealing with a lot of those challenging times, I often thought about where I would be or where I wanted to be 5 months, 10 months down the road. And that detracted a lot from what I needed to do to focus on my day to day. It puts a lot of pressure on yourself. There's subconscious stress that you don't even know that you're battling internally. And so once I started being present, living in my moment every single day, and focusing on what I can control, it really took a lot of pressure off of a lot of those external things that were giving me anxiety or affecting my mental health. And I think that's what really propelled my performance in Tokyo, was that there was a level of preparedness I went going into the games, physically, mentally, and I knew that I was. So from there, it was just about living in the moment, being present, enjoying the process, and not letting that detract from anything else except for just going out there, having fun, and performing to the best of my ability.
So we got to talk about that Paralympic performance, your multiple Paralympic performances, in just a second. But before we get there, you just spoke to so many elements of overcoming adversity and the lessons that you learned. And you have so many important takeaways that, I wish I was making notes right now so I could remember them all. Thank goodness this is being recorded. But of course, one of the most challenging things that was universal for all of us was not only living, but training through a pandemic over the last 2 years. What were some of the main strategies that you turned to help you navigate that sort of new normal in our new world?
Yeah, I mean, so I think given the challenges I had up until 2019, the pandemic was in a way a silver lining for me, because I think it really allowed me to take a step back and reflect on all those things I had kind of had to overcome over the years. And one, it allowed me to, I think, actually properly heal from those things. And I think two, it allowed me to kind of refocus and reshift my mental preparation for how I want to approach certain things. And I think it was knowing at the end of the day that there are going to be challenges, there are going to be bumps in the road, but I think it's important to understand that they happen, and then you have to just assess them, take care of what you need to take care of, and move forward from there. So in a way, I think in the beginning of the pandemic, it was very helpful for me to kind of just take a step back. Not gonna sugarcoat it. It was difficult because I was training in my basement for a few months, and I was running out in the freezing cold, which, like, as a short sprinter, you never do. But I was out with my sister in like 5-degree weather, just running on the street and lifting in my basement. Thankful to my parents who was able to set up a proper gym in the basement right at the start there. That helped us a lot. But yeah, I think it was just, I didn't have to get up and train every day. That was the thing. Like, there was nothing pressing, there was nothing happening, but I knew that regardless of whether the Paralympics happened this past year or next year or the year after, whenever they were going to happen, I knew I needed to be ready for them, and I knew I wanted to be ready for them. And so even if I couldn't physically prepare myself on the track, there were other things that I could work on every single day. So we started working on little weaknesses, little strength things that I used to have trouble with before. Balance is very important, and I'm missing my leg. So balancing those types of things out and kind of navigating that through training in my house was, I think, really helpful. And I think it kind of like, again, it allowed me to focus on just like different things that I would never have focused on before. And then once we were able to get back onto a track outdoors, I think I just had so much more appreciation for the sport and for the lovely facilities we have access to on a daily basis. I think that's something we definitely took for granted before. And I think it just overall allowed me to have a greater appreciation for the sport.
You've used words like appreciation and gratitude and fun so many times. So let's put that all together, because you exuded that in Tokyo. And I want to know what it felt like being in Tokyo in the stadium and then crossing that finish line, knowing that you had, well, maybe you should take us through that, knowing or not knowing right away that you had won a bronze medal.
Yeah, that whole process was such a whirlwind, because I had 5 races in 3 days, and the way they were kind of all timed out was like kind of close to each other because of the process it took to get from the village to the Olympic Stadium back and forth and whatnot, and fitting in meals and sleep into all of that. But I think I talked to my coach like nights before the first race had happened, and I said, like, this has to be perfect to work. And he said, yeah, it does. So we created a plan to the times I was eating my meals, to the times I was falling asleep, to the times I was getting ready, to the times I was getting on the bus at. And, we stuck to that plan. And I think that just allowed me to, just focus on what I can control in any given moment and know that everything else was taken care of. And, we were so fortunate to have some great staff from Athletics Canada to ensure that we were in the best possible situation that we could be, and we didn't have to worry about those little things. And yeah, I mean, every single race where I walked into that stadium, I just had the most fun I think I'd ever had competing. And it was strange because I didn't know how I would feel walking into an empty stadium, especially for something that you train so long and hard for. But the music was blasting. I was having the time of my life. And I think it was the most fun I'd ever had racing in my life, because I knew I was prepared. Mentally, I was ready to go. And again, like you had said before, I keep mentioning fun, but I really was just having fun. And so it was funny because right before I walked into the call room before the 100-meter final, I was exhausted at this point. I had done 4 other races, and it meant even just mentally exhausting that affects your physical. And so at this point, it was such a long season, such a long haul to get to that point. I just remember looking at one of the Athletics Canada coaches, and I was like, what's like motivating me so much right now? Getting me from point A to point B means that I will be in off season quicker. So I just got to the finish line as fast as I could, as focused as I could. And that just meant that ice cream was closer to me than it was previously. And yeah, I mean, I kind of blacked out in that race. I think that was the first time I ever really hit that level of focus in a race. And I didn't see any of the people beside me. I just was really focused on my own lane and what I can control. And it took me a minute to realize that I'd won the bronze medal, because I was waiting for the times to pop up on the screen. I had no idea if I, lunged quick enough, if someone else had outlunged me at the line. But yeah, when I saw my name pop up in third, it was a very grateful and humbling experience. And I'm just so thankful to have had that opportunity at the end of the day, because we were unsure for so long if the games were even going to happen. So I think I felt a lot of gratification and feeling of humble and greatness at the end of it all.
So great. And just a reminder that folks can continue dropping in their questions to the Q&A box, and we'll keep answering them. Marissa, I'll ask you the same question I asked Zach. What are you doing with your medal now? Do you have it with you?
I do. It's sitting, so I have like a little shelf in the corner of my bedroom. It's sitting nicely on my shelf. Do you want me to grab it, or?
If you don't mind, yeah, I think
Yeah,
we'd
sure,
all love to see it. Again, this is the point where if we were in person, we'd be probably passing it around either in or out of its case, but there's a lot to be said for being able to see it on our Zoom screen.
Yeah. So it sits in its case, but this is the medal. The Paralympic ones are really unique because they have the Braille on them, which is super awesome as well on the side, so that visually impaired athletes know which medal it is. So yeah, this is it, and it stays in this case. This really cool case. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Great source of motivation and inspiration, I'm sure, for your continued success. And on that note, what are you getting excited for now? Are you back in training? Are you looking forward to, I know that there's some question about next year's Para World Championships, but what's getting you excited right now, and how are you feeling about what the future holds?
Yeah, I mean, so we've been back at training for a few months now. Just honestly kind of plugging away. It's been base season training. I had a really, really tough one on Tuesday. I didn't think I was gonna make it for the second set of my workout, but we pulled through. So yeah, just been kind of plugging away. We're doing some testing tomorrow, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back to some training camps in the new year. I'm gonna head to Grenada in January. Fingers crossed that it happens. And some other training camps as well. And then hopefully gonna head over to Europe to do some Grand Prix events. And then hopefully World Championships is gonna happen in August. I know there's been a lot of issues with the Japanese government because our World Championships are supposed to be back in Japan. And of course, they just hosted a massive event that made them absolutely no money. So there's a few issues with some other events that are supposed to be taking place there right now. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. Again, it's just one of those things that you just have to continue living in the moment every single day and focus on what you can control. And if it happens, amazing. If not, there'll be another opportunity in the future to get back on the world stage.
Absolutely. So we do have a question for you, because you mentioned getting from the start to the finish line as quickly as possible because it got you closer to ice cream. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's a really good question. So my favorite ice cream flavor is honestly anything with chocolate and anything with brownies in it.
Good answer. I would second that one. And what other ways did you celebrate in your off season? What other events did you enjoy, or things that you did that you weren't able to do when you were in serious training?
Yeah, I think because of the pandemic, it was kind of interesting coming home. There wasn't like a really big celebration or anything like that, but I think I got to have like little moments with like friends and family at different various periods of time. And I got to throw the first pitch at the Blue Jays game when I got home, so that was super fun. And there have been some like fun little opportunities like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention that Blue Jays pitch. That was so fun to watch. I wasn't there in person, but I watched it online. And I know that Kenneth has dropped, if you scroll back up through the chat, folks, you can find the links to all of our athlete speakers' Instagram accounts. And Marissa, like all of our athletes, is a fabulous follow. She is so positive. She truly lives her messages in all of her online presence. So I encourage you to check out Marissa's Instagram. But just before we let you go, Marissa, you've given us so many great nuggets of advice and inspiration. But if you could leave, especially our younger athletes, with one or two really strong best pieces of advice, what would they be?
Honestly, again, I think it just comes back to having fun with what you do every single day. I think it's really easy for us in life to just get either too far ahead of ourselves and think about what's down the road, and it makes us stressed out. It makes us anxious. And I think that, again, at the end of the day, it's important to have fun with what you're doing. So make sure that whatever you are doing, whether it's a track event, a field event, make sure you're doing what you absolutely love at the end of the day. I think that when we love what we do, really amazing things come out of it.
And we're so glad that you came out of that. So Marissa, Papaconstantinou, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on your bronze medal, and we wish you the very best in the future.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
All right, folks, well, we're just about to wrap up, but it is time to announce the winner of our raffle. Again, you're going to get a fantastic swag bag. I know we've got a good number of entrants. So Paul, I'll pass it over to you to draw the winner.
Great, thank you, Kate. So we've got all our people who purchased raffle tickets are on the wheel now, and we are going to spin it and announce the winner. Congratulations, Deborah Joseph. You have won the raffle prize for tonight. We will connect with you and let you know how you can get the award. Congratulations. Back to you.
Awesome. Congratulations, Deborah. And thank you again to everyone who purchased a raffle ticket. It really helps support our organization. So even those who didn't win, you can know that you're all winners by contributing today. So again, this has been another wonderfully inspiring evening. I really thank you all so much for coming out to help us celebrate another wonderful year. As we've said all the way through, we're so proud of all of your incredible accomplishments, and we truly wouldn't have anything to celebrate if it weren't for your dedication, your teamwork, your passion, and your amazing performances. On behalf of Athletics Ontario, we'd like to give thanks to our volunteers, our coaches, our amazing guest speakers, our sponsors, our inspiring Olympians and Paralympians, and to each of you for giving us so much to celebrate. Again, you can find the link to tonight's video and last night's video, as well as all of the other great information on the Athletics Ontario website. But we hope that everyone enjoyed this evening. We're so excited to move forward together into 2022 and beyond. Congratulations, stay safe, happy holidays, and we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you, Kate. And as we're signing off, we just want to make a great big thank you so much, Kate, for your wonderful, amazing job doing us hosting as our MC for not only tonight, but last night, and keeping it all together for us. So thank you so much for your great support in this. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the new year.